Pezik show. I am so honored and excited to welcome back my beautiful friend, Jenny D'Agostino. She was here with her fierce, amazing, I wonder where she gets it from, daughter a few episodes ago. Jenny and Taylor were here, and Taylor was really talking about how she was overcoming this hurdle of getting bucked off a horse or falling off a horse and being paralyzed from the chest down. And I encourage you to go back and listen to that episode if you haven't, because I'm getting goosebumps even just talking about it right now. This youngin', and I say youngin' because she's what, 21? Jenny, 20?
She's 20. She's 20 now.
20. So this happened when she was 16. This 20-year-old has more wisdom than a lot of the adults that I'm around in my life. So I encourage you to go back and listen about what really matters in this life and how to shift your mindset when something unexpected and catastrophic can happen. There's so much hope and gratitude and just gems in that episode. So go back. Today, I wanted to have Jenny on with me because, man, this is a time when victimhood can really rear its ugly head. This is a time when many of us feel like we're spinning out of control. Like, what is going to be that needle in the haystack that breaks it? And like, I can't take one more thing. And Jenny and I, before we got on this podcast, we were actually just talking about, I'm like pairing internet from my phone because our ex-internet providers accidentally cut the line. Our babysitter canceled today. Jenny had a fire in her home. Everyone and everything as well. Or
well,
the kids, right?
Flood. We had actually,
Flood.
Thank goodness it wasn't fire, but yeah, our dishwasher leaked for a very long time, didn't know it, caused mold in the basement, and literally just went underneath the hardwood floors and everything. And so we're living in a hotel for a month or so.
So yeah, so a flood. Thank you for correcting me. Thank God it wasn't a fire. So a flood in the home. Jenny's in a hotel. Her poor dog had diarrhea. She was up every 2 hours last night. Like, hello, people. If you want to hear a shitstorm, it's right here between the two of us. Literally, no pun intended. So, Jenny, thank you. Welcome to our shit show. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me on. I'm really grateful for this.
So we're going to talk about today the power of choice. And when you feel like you're in the middle of a crap storm and just that fierceness that you need to have, that unreasonableness. I think that word gets a bad rap. People say, oh, you're being unreasonable. There's a reason why you're being unreasonable in other people's eyes. There's a reason that you feel something in your gut, and that's why you're being unreasonable. And I think if we could cultivate a little bit more of that in our life, we'd be a lot more in control. We'd be a lot calmer. And what did you say earlier, Jenny? You live your life, how did you say it, with peace?
I'm very powerful, but yet I'm very peaceful.
See, that's a woman that is in tune with herself. So let's talk about where you were 15 years ago. Because before we got on, you were saying if this happened to Taylor and all this stuff happening, I mean, there's even more. My God, we could go on for a
You're
lot.
trying to make me cry. You're like literally going to make me cry right now.
Okay, tell me about that. Tell me.
Why do I have tears right now? Because I feel sorry for the woman, for that Jenny 15 years ago. She was so lost and in such a dark place, and literally was waking up every single day wishing that it was over. She would wake up in the morning and be like, again, I have to do this again. And it was like Groundhog Day over and over and over again. I literally was living misery. And I felt like I didn't have an out. Like I was just like, what do I do? And, you know, at one point in my life, I did try ending it. And luckily I'm still here, and not to get all sappy and everything, but I wanted an easy way out. And so I just decided to take a whole bottle of pills and go to bed one night. And I literally just wanted to go to sleep peaceful and not wake up. I didn't want to do it ugly. You know, I thought about my family and I was like, oh, like I can't have them find me. And that's just weird. Like all this stuff was going through my head. I literally just wanted to go to sleep and not wake up. And when I woke up that morning, I was mad. I was like, God doesn't even want me. What am I doing wrong in this lifetime? What is going on? And after I was very sick for a while after that, I was shaking. I mean, I didn't tell anybody until like just probably about 8 years ago, I came out and told my story, but no one knew. You know, it was just, I remember sitting in bed that morning, just looking up, and after I got myself together, and I'm like, okay, obviously I'm here for a reason. And I got my act together, and I just started, I literally started praying. And I was like, I'm not religious. I don't, and you know, I don't go to church. We did, but there's a backstory, you know, of why I stopped going, you know, this whole nother podcast right there. But, you know, and I said, please show me the way. You have to show me why I'm here, because this isn't fun to me anymore. And I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I knew what needed to be done, but I was afraid to do it. I was afraid because I was going to hurt so many people, but yet I put everybody else before my happiness. I didn't want anybody mad at me. I liked that everybody loved me and liked me. And I was a people pleaser back then. And I still love people, and I still want people to like me and love me. But if you don't, that's on you. That's not on me anymore. I drew a line in the sand, and I said, enough is enough. I'm taking control. I'm taking my life back, and I'm living Jenny's life. I'm doing what I'm meant to do. And I had to do the hard things to get to where I wanted to be. And I created a post this morning, and I said, please stop settling and just don't, like, live for you and do the hard things. Not sometimes, a lot of times we have to do, I know all of you listening right now have something difficult in your life right now that's holding you back from living the life that you could be living the life that you desire, that you deserve. But that one thing is holding you back because of fear, and you don't want to hurt that person or whatever it is that's going on in your life, job, spouse, whatever it is. But I'm begging you to do it. Don't live in fear, just do it. And I promise you, it does get better. It may take a little time. It may take a couple years of hurt and, you know, maybe some arguing going on there for a while, right? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say that it's a miracle, that it's going to happen overnight just like that. And woo, we have rainbows and sunshine. Okay, I'm not saying that. It does take time, but it is so worth it. If I did not make those changes, I would not be able to handle Taylor breaking her back 4 years ago. I would not be the mom that I am today, the advocate that I am for her today, if I did not make that change.
That's so powerful. And I always think when you tell the truth and you tell your truth, that's when you can start to heal. When you can say, I don't like that. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want you to talk to me that way. I'm not going to spend my time there. I'm not going to spend my money there. The way you treat people is not okay with me. Like when you start to share with people your truth, your likes, your dislikes, your wants, your needs, your desires, that's when you can start to heal. That's when you start living. And I know you were sharing that before, you used to just kind of numb it all away, like with alcohol and medication. And, you know, and you think about, is that really living? Like, what are you giving those people that love you and that you want to spend your time with, when you're giving away all these pieces to everybody else, so you've got nothing left to give to yourself? and to the ones that matter. Right. And I always think about that. It's got to be you first. You know, so many people say, oh, personal development is selfish. Oh, self-care is selfish. Oh, you don't understand. We all can't. I get that all the time. We all can't just wake up and meditate and journal, and you don't understand. And I'm like, no, I do understand. Like, as I said,
I was there. You were there.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's a choice. It's a choice. And like you said, you may piss some people off. And that's okay. I remember when I was sharing the story of my mom, and I didn't want to tell that story in the beginning because my family did not take well to me. You know, people get used to you being I'm sure you experience this too. People are like, I know Jenny, I know Lisa, this is who they are. And then you evolve and you grow and you find your voice and you find your truth, and it's like cha-ching, and people are like, who? I don't like you because you're not, I can't control you, I can't manipulate you, I can't tell you, or they don't recognize you. And you know, I remember when I was working with the coach, they said, what do you care about more? What do you care about more? What your family thinks about you, or living in your power and healing and telling the truth and inspiring? Do you care more about, because really it was my mom. It's like, do you care more about protecting one person who couldn't care and protect you? Or do you care about inspiring hundreds and thousands and millions of people around the world? What do you care more about? And when they framed it to me like that, I was like, wow. You know,
least happens, and then you just, you know.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, you may have ticked off a lot of people, and, you know, and even still, I saw your post the other day where you shared, someone said to Taylor, when is she just going to get a job? Family said, when is she just going to get a job and forget this whole trying to walk again thing?
Go to college and get a job, get in the real world. And, you know, when is this nonsense going to stop of you trying to walk again?
And how do you handle that negativity coming at you and your daughter and your family and people who don't understand your choices? Because I think we've all been there where people don't understand why we're doing what we're doing. How do you handle that?
Well, luckily I was not there when they said that to her, because, you know, I may have said some things that, you know, well, you know, that they deserved. And I'm just saying that, you know, but I'm glad, you know, because she is building up a lot of skin in the game right here with everything that's going on. And, you know, she comes home and I just talked to her about it. And I'm like, what's in your heart? What's in your soul? How do you still want it? Like, what do you want in life? Are you ready to stop? Are you ready? Like, you tell me. And she's like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm like, all right, game on. And I'm like in one ear and out the other. I go, you know, sometimes when you're around people like that, Tay, they don't understand.
Yep.
They don't believe in themselves. They're they're not even happy themselves. So that they put yourself in your shoes, and they're just like, they wouldn't fight the fight that you're doing. They wouldn't do it. It's too hard for them. But you're like unstoppable. You just continue to keep going and pushing through and go, 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 go. Because you know, like, I'll never forget her being on that ER table, June 8th, 2016, getting ready to be airlifted for surgery. She calls me over. She's in the headgear. And I have my arms crossed, and I'm just still like, what just happened? I still didn't even comprehend what just happened. She calls me over and she's like, Mom, I'm all right. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to walk again, and I'm going to ride again. And I will never, that night she gave me power in my soul. I can't explain to you what happened. Literally, I felt like this, like right in my gut. And I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do this. And I knew I was on a mission. I knew I was on a journey, and I knew that life literally, and the strangest thing I have to tell you was, a couple years before she broke her back, life started nudging me. Life started telling me the salon isn't your place. Even though that was my firstborn, that was my baby at 22 years old. I opened up my business at 22. And here we go, how many years later? And like, I heard light, and I'm just like, "Wait, what? Like, what? Like, how could I leave?" Like, and all this stuff kept going in my head. I can't leave my business. They're going to kill me. Are you kidding me? Like, what am I going to do? But literally, life was tapping me, going, get ready. Get ready, because now I see it, and now I'm going, that's what you meant. That's exactly what you meant. That's why life kept going, because literally I couldn't leave. I couldn't do it. I loved them. I loved doing what I was doing, and literally life grabbed me by the hair, literally ripped me out of that place, and was like, bam, this is your journey. This is where you're meant to be. You need to be the mom, the role model that your children need, because I was a workhorse. I wasn't being present in my kid's life. Jenny had to make the money because I was a single mom with 4 kids, and I had bills to pay, man. Taylor had a horse that had to be taken care of and paid for. And I'm going, I got to do it. 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 Like, that's all it was. But I wasn't enjoying life as much. And then literally that happened, and I knew I wasn't going back. And everybody kept asking me, when you coming back? I'm like, I don't know. But I knew in my heart of hearts, I knew I wasn't going back. I knew that I had a journey, a new path that I was on, and she needed me. My kids needed me. And people just kept asking me, well, how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? How? And you know what? The thing that people like, where fear sets in, is people don't like the unknown. People like being in their comfort zone and knowing what's going on. They love living in the known. They are a lot of people are afraid of the unknown. I was comfortable with it. I knew that we were going to be okay. I said, it's time to get uncomfortable, because this is going to be really uncomfortable. But I knew if I just stood in my ground, I stood in my power, I knew everything was going to be okay. And I didn't let fear set in, going, what if I can't pay the bills? What if I can't pay the mortgage? No, I was like, well, then we sell the house and we downsize and we figure it out. Well, we'll do this. And it was like, let's think about alternative ways that we could do this, instead of living in fear, going, I'm not going to be able to do this. No, none of that. Let's figure out a plan, and being surrounded around the right people, like you said, your circle of friends that will always have your back and will like be there to, even when you're feeling down. They're like, what are you doing? Get up, girl, let's go. And like, yes, sorry, yes, yeah, and because I'm not gonna lie, in these 4 years I've cried. I didn't live in fear. I didn't have fear creep in and go, what I cried for my daughter. I cried because things were going, oh my gosh, her teen years are like taken away. But guess what? Then you turn it around and say, you know what? She's still here. She's still living. She could still live a good life. No matter what the outcome is, her life's going to be amazing. I have a rock star on my hands. Why am I crying for her? Because people don't realize that we take things for granted every single day. People don't realize that we're robots, right? What I mean by that is, when you're in bed, your body sends a signal, you have to go to the bathroom. So you get up and you go to the bathroom. You don't even think about, oh, I have to get up. I have to put my legs on the floor. I have to stand up. I have to walk. I have to sit. No, we just do it. That was taken away from her. And so now she needs help to go to the bathroom. And that's the things that I was thinking about. And I was like, wow, we literally take so many things. Even quadriplegics can't even hold a water bottle and like take a drink, some of them, but they have a device that'll help them drink. Some of them lost everything, like Christopher Reeve. They had nothing, that if their head fell, they couldn't even lift their head back up. And we have people out there right now walking around in this world not even existing. They're living, they're walking, they're not even existing.
I think the biggest thing, like, to recap some of the stuff that you said, Taylor made you like up your game. Like she made you up your game. And how many times we look at, oh, the mentor or the CEO or the president or we look to these people that are deemed leaders in our society. And anybody can be a leader. Your daughter is a leader. And I love that the question you asked her, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Because the only way your dreams aren't going to happen is if you take yourself out of it. Like, it's Taylor's decision if and when she wants to start and stop and go and don't and ride or not. Like, we're here to support her in that. But I love that you kept her as the center. Like, you're not going, oh, come on, Taylor, you have to do this. I mean, you might do that a little bit, right? If she needs a good kick in the
yes. In the beginning, I definitely did that. I think I was pushing her too hard. And I actually, she literally had to put me in my place and said, Mom, I need a break. And I'm like, what? No, but
and see, she wouldn't have been able to do that unless you role modeled it. That story that you told in the beginning, where you were like, I got to get my stuff together. I might piss some people off. Like, she might have been afraid to say that to you, to say, Mom, like, whoa. But because you lived it and you showed her that it is okay to speak your mind, to speak what you want, to say what you want, that was almost like a full circle moment there.
Oh. I don't know if I don't know if you know this, but she literally, it was like, she had my back in 2013 and I had literally had her back in 2016 when we went to the grocery store and I was checking out, and it was July 1st, 2013. We were checking out and she's like, Mom, you forgot something. And I'm like, no, I didn't forget anything. I'm like, we have everything, Tay. She's like, no, Mom, you forgot something. And I'm like, no, we have it all. She's like, Mom, you forgot your beer. That was it for me. It was memories coming back. My grandmother died of cirrhosis of the liver at 62 years old. My grandmother was a hardcore alcoholic beer drinker, which I then in turn took that on. I love beer. I really do. And I was not facing my problems. Yeah. I was numbing them with that beer. And that moment when she said that to me, that was it. Cold turkey. I was like, I'm done. I'm like, no, I did. I was like, I literally drove home. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So I look back at that now and I can tell you that she literally saved me. She had my back then, called me out on my bullshit. and I literally, but some moms or some parents would get mad at that and be like, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. Who do you, don't talk to me like that. I'm the adult. I'm the parent. Yeah. But it got me. And I was like, right where it hurt. And I was like, I'm done.
Yep.
That's it. It's time. Level up again. So I had already leveled up, but I leveled up again because I made that hard decision. But then I was numbing a little bit with the drinking. And then, it was like I needed to be leveled up again. And that right after that is when like personal development came into my life, spirituality, I found me. Yeah. I felt me. I started loving me and standing in finding my power. And not letting anybody dictate my life, because this is your life, right? We have the choice.
Yep.
We make the decisions or somebody makes them for us. What do you want? It's up to you. Don't let anybody, like I say when we talk about power, don't give your power away. We could say, oh, they took my power. They didn't take your power. You gave it to them. You let them have it. But understanding that it's all within here. It's all within you. And don't ever give it. It's okay. Like if you did, it's okay, but you could get it back.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of all of this is you can get it back and you can just stand in your power, take control of your life. The choice is yours. That's the beauty of it all.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times people don't realize when you numb the bad, you also numb the good. And that was that moment where, Taylor's like, Mom, you forgot the beer. And you're like, No, like you were numbing the good and the bad. And I think like, wow, what a like profound moment there. I also love going back. You never asked how. How am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to figure that out? And people are saying, how, even that, how am I going to get my power back? Okay, I gave it away. How do I do that? How is a losing question. How is you're trying to find a way out. When people go, how are you going to pay for that mortgage? Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm not going to be able to do it, right? How are you going to be able to stop drinking, Jenny? You've been drinking for, X amount of years, and I don't know, I'm just going to freaking not buy the beer and go home and be done, right? Like, you didn't try to micromanage and plan every single step. You had trust and faith in the universe that when you declare it, I'm not buying beer no more, that it would all work out, right? I'm going to start doing personal development. I'm just going to read a page a day. I'm going to listen to a podcast. I'm going to listen to 5 minutes of a YouTube meditation, whatever it is. We have so many tools and resources at our fingertips. It's all a choice. And I love that you never asked how. You just knew, you trusted yourself. And to me, that's power, to trust yourself.
It was like having trust, having belief, believing that everything will work out, because it does. But if we keep thinking that how is this possible? And you keep questioning that, to me, it's kind of like you're letting fear in there again. And then you don't have that power to move forward. You don't believe that it's possible, but it is. Mm-hmm. It is. Like, life is not here to hurt us. It really is here to, we have so many gifts in every single day that we wake up. This moment right now, being on here with you, is a beautiful gift. But a lot of people don't see a lot of things that happen in life as gifts. If you went out and you got a flat tire, just know that that's a gift, because life saved you, because possibly you might have gotten in a car accident or something happened. So instead of going, oh my God, this is ridiculous, I'm going to be late. Instead of having your mindset like that, think about, I wonder what this message is that the universe is giving me right now. Mm-hmm. Instead of living in that anger, that state where just know and believe that the universe has your back.
Yeah. What does self-care look like for you? What are some of the things you do to keep your body and mind and head and heart strong?
When I wake up in the morning, first of all, I say thank you. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to 15 years ago when I didn't want to. So for me, that's big. When I open up my eyes in the morning, I'm like, thank you. And again, it doesn't have to be about religion. It has to be in here. It has to be in your heart. You have to really feel the gratitude when you wake up, because we're here. We get another chance to change our life, to change somebody else's life, to make a difference in this world. So I wake up and really just, my heart is filled with gratitude. I'm like, yes, another day. Okay. I'm not saying every day is like all like, but that is, I say thank you. But meditation has been a big key magical moment in my life, that when I can actually get out of the physical world with all of the stress and everything that's going on around us, when I can actually go within, quiet my mind, and listen to the messages that the universe, life, God, whatever is trying to tell me, that's where my inner peace comes in. So when I tell you the power is my physical and the peace is my soul, it's my inner being. Those two need to be in alignment at all times, because life is hard. So that's where you need power to become unstoppable for the physical aspect. And then the peace comes in, where that's where I meditate. And then I go in and I just get centered, I get grounded, and I quiet my mind. And that is where the true power actually really lies, is within you. And just listening to your intuition, listening to your gut, because your body is the biggest message for you. You know when something doesn't feel right. Trust that intuition, because if you don't, life is going to kick you in the ass and it's going to go, you dummy. I was trying to tell you, but you didn't listen.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, it's anytime we try to argue with whoever or whatever that thing is up there, you're gonna lose. Every time you try to argue with Mother Nature, you're gonna lose, right? It's like listening
One,
inward, like stay with the powers that be. You will lose that battle every single time. I think my
along
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So along with meditation, I do exercise and I fuel my body with whole foods. That was one thing 15 years ago that I wasn't doing when I would tell you I was in a depression. Obviously, if I wanted to leave the world, I was in a depression and I wasn't eating right. I was eating McDonald's. I was going to fast food. It was easy, 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 fast, fast, fast. And I wasn't even feeding my kids the right way. So once I started putting whole foods, real food that Mother Nature intended and that grew for us.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa, like I can't even, the energy, my skin, everybody, they're like, you're not 48. I'm like, I'm 48 and I'm proud to tell you that. They're like, you look 35. Like you're in your, and I'm like, that's because of what I do. It's self-care. So, self-care isn't just about getting your hair and nails done. It's about exercise, and it could be yoga, could be walking, whatever it is that works for you, do it. Get your heart pumping, move this body, get out of the chair, get out of bed, get outside in nature and breathe. Breathe that beautiful air in that God gave us, that the universe gave us. Like, get outside, stand in the sunshine, do whatever you need to do to fill up. But all those little things and journaling, and really, I would tell you, manifesting, creating my future life, I write it out. I write it out. I'm driving this. I live here. I have like this, or my man is this, or my business is this, blah. It's different when you think about something than when actually you put it on paper, because I feel it's like when it is on paper, it is done. It's like, there's the Bible, right? The Bible was created for everybody to get through life, like of life. Create your own Bible. Yeah. What do you want your Bible to have? What do you want to leave behind for your generations to come, your children, your grandkids? What is it? What if we were, and please, I'm not trying to make anybody sad, but what if our life was over today? What if it was over, you went to bed tonight and you didn't wake up tomorrow morning? What are you leaving behind for your generations? Are they going to know my mom or my grandmother or my aunt or whatever was sad, or she was this, or she drank or whatever, or like, she freaking rocked life, man. She loved it. She was like out there every day helping people, doing this, doing that. What kind of life? What legacy? What do you want to leave behind for everybody? That is your Bible. Start writing that out. Whatever you want to call it, your journal, your diary, I don't care what it is. Whatever staple you make it, create it. It's a beautiful thing.
I love that, because I was listening that you actually turned me on to Joe Dispenza, and I was listening to I shouldn't say all, but most of the meditations I found by him are all about visualizing your future self, walking into your future self, and he was explaining how your brain doesn't actually know the difference. Like when you can see it, you can feel it, and you can write it, your brain is like, yes, that's reality. Like that is done. That has happened. That is there. So that is actual science. What Jenny was just saying about create your own Bible, write it out, visualize it, meditate about it, speak about yourself in that future self. So many times where, I was a former RN, I was a former alcoholic, I was a former hairdresser, I was a former depressed mom, I was a former. No, you're not former anything. Yep. You are whatever that is in the future that you see yourself, right? That is who you are. And the more that you can write that and journal it and meditate it and visualize it, the more it's going to come true. And I love how you talked about whole foods and moving your body and getting in the sunshine. We're just like big plants, right? We need to be food and water and cared for and loved. And that's all. We're like big plants. That's all we need.
Oh, one other thing that we need, that you just reminded me about the plants, right? Think about your body as a plant, a flower, whatever you want to call it. Self-talk.
Mm.
Please, please do not look in the mirror and like, I have a big nose, or I have this, or don't say that. Please, everybody, look in the mirror and look at yourself and just love yourself. You are beautiful. And if you can't say it, you put a sticky note right on your mirror. You matter. You are beautiful. Whatever, I don't care what anybody's told you in the past. Don't listen to them. We were all born for a reason. We all matter. We all have messages to share with the world. And no matter what anybody told you from your past, a loved one, family, it doesn't matter who it is, let that go. Let it go and be like, thank you for that lesson, but I'm here now. Jenny's here. Lisa's here. You're here. Whatever it is. Again, it's that self-talk that you are beautiful. It doesn't matter if you have a scar on your face or you can't walk right now or you lost a limb. It doesn't matter. You are beautiful just the way that you are. And you could do anything in this lifetime, but it's up to you. And how hard do you want it? And are you willing to put in the time, sweat, energy, money, all of that? How bad do you want it? Because let me tell you, life is beautiful. But if you choose not to see that, it's hard for us to help you. The power is in you. We can show you, we could talk to you, we could show you our life and our journey and all that, all we want. But what are you doing today to get to that future life, to get to that future self? Love yourself, honor yourself, and never give up. And never let anybody tell you that you can't do something, because you can. Don't let it get in here. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want you to smell it. I want you to taste it. I want you to touch it. I want you to live it as it is here today. That's where the magic happens.
The faster you can surrender to all that goodness that Jenny just said to you, the faster you're going to get to whatever it is that you want in your life. So be unreasonable. Choose yourself. Choose you over and over and over again. And I just love the message that you and Taylor always put out about even your whole family. You know, I don't want to forget that you have other children and, you know,
they don't like, that's okay. They don't like social media right now. So if they're in that teenage, like, oh, don't take a picture of me. You know, it's all good.
But it's, you know, it's your whole family unit coming together to be able to love each other, support each other, you know, have that bulletproof kind of mindset and those healthy habits, and knowing that you guys can handle anything. I mean, we're doing a podcast right now from a hotel, like, you know, just awesome. So how can they get in contact with you if they want to share feedback with you? Or I know you coach, do you coach women and men, just women?
Well, honestly, right now it's women. I would coach men, but that would just be one-on-one coaching. I don't let them into the group coaching because women won't feel safe.
Yeah.
So right now my group coaching, my one-on-one, it's a lot of women. But if men wanted, if they loved my power and peace and unstoppable, you know, they can definitely contact me and we can definitely work one-on-one. I do have a podcast called The Unstoppable Mom. You can search that, or Jenny Grass D'Agostino. They can go to my Facebook. They can go to my Instagram. On Facebook lately, I've been sharing morning messages. I go out there and just kind of whatever's on my mind, I just speak it and feel it. Whatever comes to me. For me, I'm not a planner in that. I'm just like, okay, I meditate and I'm like, what's the message that I need to share today? And then I just share it. That's just how I live. It's like spur of the moment. Just let's talk about this today, right? It's the beauty of life. We get to choose whatever. There's no right or wrong. Just go with the flow and enjoy it. And never regret things, right? Because we have to go through things to grow.
Amen. And I hope that inspired people, the beauty and the simplicity that you said about just every morning when you wake up and you open your eyes and you say thank you. I just think that's such a profound message, that if every day we just even started with that, how much your life would change. So I'm going to make sure, listeners, that I put all of Jenny's information in the show notes so you can contact her. If you are not connected on social media to her and her daughter, and I mean, you please go and do that, because there's so much wisdom and goodness. And we talk about your family all the time. Like, we love you guys. We were hiking. We were in Blue Mountain. We were away this weekend, and we were hiking, and it was hot and it was sweaty, and we were like going up the mountain, and we thought it was going to be like this 30-minute hike, and it was like, 50 minutes later, and Oliver's like, "Oh, Mom." And I said, "Hey, Oliver," I said, "do you remember my friend?" I say my friends with the purple hair. I said, "Do you remember my friends with the purple and the blue hair?" I'm like, "The one who rides horses?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Taylor and Jenny." I'm like, "What about Taylor?" He goes, "Oh."
Oh,
there wasn't another groan the whole way up that mountain.
I love that. I'm like, if you can't have the motivation to do it yourself, and your legs do work, do it for my daughter.
Yeah.
That's my motivation, is like when I don't want to go do something, I don't want to work out or whatever. I'm like, but I can. And she does too. She's pushing through every week, and I'm like, I just think about her all the time. Like, we're so blessed. We
So,
truly are. We're so blessed. I can't complain,
yeah, I do. We are so blessed. So use what you got and keep working to go where you want to go. Because if you believe it, you see it, you take care of yourself, you love yourself, it's all gonna happen. So thank you, Jenny, for being here with me today. Oh, thank you, listeners.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, I'm gonna have her back again, y'all. You can tell that if it wasn't for the time, you could tell we could talk for hours. I'm gonna have her back on again. Thank you for being here. I know you made a choice to tune in and to listen, and I never take that lightly. So hopefully you got the inspiration and positivity that you need. If not, reach out. And we'll share with you some of our most powerful and profound personal development resources so that you can start listening and building your confidence and building that self-love. You never have to go through anything alone. Know that.
No.
We got your back. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you next time on the Lisa Pezik Show.